Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to VIU Mini Conference. I'm a representative of Faculty of Education VIU. My name's Gina. I'm a moderator in this session. Next, I would like to invite Miss Lisa, who will be giving a presentation about teacher's attitude. Please welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Miss Gina, the organizing committee, and also the audience who participate my presentation. My name is Lisa, and I'm going to present an international research and Thai research about teachers' attitude. As a title, teachers' attitude toward the learning achievement of students with learning disabilities in inclusive schools from Malina Tiga Grahita Universitas Negeri Padang, Indonesia. For the Thai research, and the second title is Teachers' Attitude Toward General School Administration in Educational Management Network หนองใหญ่โคกสะอาด Surin Primary Educational Service Areas Office 3 from จักรพันธ์สหชัด Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with international research. First, I would like to talk about the background of the study. Then, I will take a brief look at the related literature review and the methodology that researchers used. Finally, I will show you about the researchers' key result. As we will see in the next slide, here is the background of the study. Learning outcome or learning achievement is a part that can be used as a benchmark of students' abilities to achieve the learning objectives. According to the opinion of, learning outcome is the result of the interaction between learning and teaching. The achievements of high scores on each of the subjects can be interpreted as well achieved learning outcomes. On the category low achievement on the subjects is the result of bad learning. All people have the desire to achieve a good learning outcome because a good learning outcome is one of the indicators of successful learning process. However, in reality, not all students have a good learning outcome. In general, factors that affect the learning outcomes are divided into two kinds, namely internal and external factors. One of the external factors is the teacher. The teacher is the most important factor in education and learning. Therefore, teachers indirectly affect the learning outcomes of their students. Alright, next, let me present about the literature review of this research. Based on findings, most of the teachers show a positive attitude and accept all students, particularly students with learning disability. Data obtained show that teachers have accepting attitude in supporting their students, especially students with learning disability, to get better learning outcome. Teachers also understand the characteristics of their students so that they can understand and accepting what students get in class. It could be the experience of the teacher that makes them to be more understanding and can follow up the learning outcome with intervention, such as advising students to attend tutoring outside the school. This is in line with Marina 2017, who suggests that teachers' teaching experience are related to their attitude. This finding in line with Esprit et al. 2019 and also Abdul Guadamosi 2014. Next, I would like to talk about the research methodology. Participants in this study were students with learning difficulties in 5th grade at an inclusive school in Padang. Participants were selected to provide accurate data for this study. Consideration of the selection of participants, among others, are as follows. 1. Students who have difficulty in learning based on the observation, interviews with teachers, and identification tool for students with special needs. 2. As mentioned earlier, students with learning difficulties who sit in class. 3. As an inclusive school in Padang, the attitudes of the teachers is assessed based on the aspects of cognitive, affective, and cognitive. Instruments of teachers' assessments are given to students with learning difficulties because the attitude of the teachers was experienced by the student. Data collected was analyzed by descriptive, quantitative data was formulated in frequency, distribution, and then described to draw the conclusion. Finally, and most importantly, I would like to let you see the result of this study. The cognitive aspect consists of a person's beliefs about the true or false for attitude object. The findings of the research show that from cognitive aspects, the students agree that most of the teachers 77.93% have good attitudes and accept the learning outcome of students with learning disabilities. More results are presented in Table 1. Based on Table 3, it can be interpreted that most of the students 74.33% stated that the teachers always told students to repeat the lesson at home. Most of the students, also 79.73%, stated that the teacher said that students with learning difficulties can get a better grade. Most of the students, 58.1%, mentioned that their teacher never said that students with learning disability will not pass the class because of bad grades. Most of the students, 40.55%, stated that when they have good grades, the teacher doesn't believe that the result is actually their own efforts. Almost half of the students, 45.95%, stated that they were never trusted as the leader of the group study. Most of the students, 58.1%, stated that sometimes they chat with the teacher. Most of the students, 68.91%, stated that the teacher remained silent while they were teased by their friends. Some of the students, 43.25%, state. According to the research discussion and conclusion, based on data analysis as discussions, it can be concluded that in the cognitive aspect, students agree that most of the teachers, 77.93%, are kind and acceptable to the learning outcomes of students with learning disability. In an effective aspect, the majority of the teachers, 80.50%, are also kind and acceptable to the learning outcomes of students with learning disability. In a cognitive aspect, students stated that most teachers, 77.92%, are kind and acceptable to the learning outcomes of students with learning disability. As the researcher's recommendation, I agree that of this researcher. Ladies and gentlemen, next, I would like to present about style research as a title, Teachers' Attitude Towards General School Administration in Educational Management Network หนองใหญ่โคกสะอาด Surin Primary Educational Service Area Office 3 from จักรพันธ์สหชาติ Let me begin with Thai research. First, I would like to talk about the background of the study. Then, I will take a brief look at the related in literature review and the methodology that researchers use. Finally, I will show you about the researcher's key result as we will see in the next slide. Here is the background of the study. General and administration is a task that involves organizing an organizational management system, providing administrative service, others achieve the quality standards and the established goals. It plays a key role in coordination, promotion, support, and facilitation in all forms of educational services, focusing on developing educational institutions for the proper use of innovation and technology, promotion of management and profile education of educational institutions, as well as the participation of individuals, communities, and related organizations, so those who are assigned to work within the scope of general administration. Therefore, not very willing, this may be for many other reasons, including the workload and diversity. There are few personnel to perform, and have a small budget more than this in school. Small size, everything depends on the voluntary and the scale of the direct school in หนองใหญ่โคกสะอาด Education Management Network. The Surin Primary Educational Service Area Office 3 is mainly medium-sized schools and small schools. If the general administration is not managed well, it may affect the efficiency and effectiveness of the schools. Alright, next, let me present about the literature review of this research. 1. There should be research on teachers' attitudes towards general administration. Other variables such as it, were used to determine how it might influence teachers' attitude towards general administration. For example, older people has a more favorable attitude towards general administration than younger individuals. All teachers with degree difference education will have different attitudes towards a general management. 2. There should be a group change, for example, from teacher to parents and variable, as is another method like satisfaction with community cooperation. Next, I would like to talk about the research methodology. This research is a survey research with the objective to study and to compare the teacher attitude towards the general administration of schools in Nong Yai Educational Management Network. Surin Primary Education Survey Area of 3, classified by gender and work experience. A sample of 103 people were randomly sample random sampling. The tool used was the rating scale. The data were analyzed, such as frequency, percentage, mean, standard deviation, t-test, and one-way analysis of variance. Finally, and most importantly, I would like to let you see the result of this study. Number 1. The teacher have attitudes towards the general administration of the school in Nong Yai Kok Sa'at Educational Management Network. Surin Primary Educational Survey Area Office 3. Overall, is at a high level due to the workload of teachers in the past to the present, not only teaching students, but later many assignments in other areas. 2. The results of comparing the attitudes of teachers with different genders have attitude towards general management of schools in Nong Yai Kok Sa'at Educational Management Network. The Office of Educational Survey Area ปฐม สุขสวัสดี District 3 as a whole was not different when considering each aspect and found that there was no difference in all aspects, probably because the general administrative work was quite different workload, student affairs systematization, and network development. According to the research discussion and conclusion. Number 1. Teachers have attitudes towards the general administration of the school in Nong Yai Educational Management Network. Surin Primary Educational Survey Area Office 3 Overview and details very level. 2. Teachers of different genders has attitudes towards general school administration in the management network. Educational Nong Yai Kok Sa'at Surin Primary School Survey Areas Office 3 Overall and aspects were not different. When considering each aspect, it was found that overall there were no differences, and when considering each aspect, it was found that there was no difference in all aspects. 3. Teachers with different work experience have attitude towards the general management of Nong Yai Kok Sa'at Educational Management Network Schools Surin Primary Educational Surveys Area Office 3. Overall, there were statistically significantly different attitudes at the 0.05 level. Students work in terms of organization and organizational development. There was a statistically significant difference at the 0.05 level. At the researcher's recommendation, I agree that of this researcher.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we come to the end part of our presentation. We would like to say thanks again to presenter for the informative and interesting talk, and to audience for active participation. Hopefully, the presentation will be beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention.